What if I told you that we tend to miss one of the most important parts of the gospel? We all remember that God created everything, that humanity messed it all up, and that Jesus saved us from our sins. However, we miss something in that equation that is of equal importance to the rest of the gospel. What do we miss? Well, in Matthew 25, Jesus tells us the parable of the talents. Just to summarize it, a master goes on a long trip, and he calls for 3 of his servants. To one he gives 5 coins, to the second he gives 2, and the third he gives 1. The first 2 servants doubled the amount of coins that they were given, but the third one buried his coin and didn't do anything with it. When the master returned, he rewards the servants who increased his possessions, but he punished the servant who buried the coin. We know that this parable symbolizes our duty to go out and make disciples, but it also reminds us that the master will eventually come back. That's a rather common theme in a lot of his parables, and it symbolizes the fact that Jesus will return to this earth one day. Not as a baby, but as a king. Like I said, we tend to forget this. Unlike most of the gospel, this hasn't happened yet. However, it is just as relevant to us today as the rest of the gospel is, because it gives us 3 very important imperatives. First, we should remember what really matters in life. In light of eternity, what does matter? Our works will eventually fade away, our families will grow up and move on in life, college certainly doesn't last forever. We leave the world the way we came in, with nothing. Almost nothing. But what we bring with us to heaven are the spiritual things. The people we've reconciled to Jesus and built up in His name are coming with us to the pearly gates. And I'm not saying you shouldn't work or have a family and all that. Those are important things, but they're not the primary purpose for our existence. They are secondary to that, because the primary purpose is for us to love God and to bring others to know Him. Second, it should give us a sense of urgency in that mission, which is something I struggle with big time. However, in Mark 13:32-33, Jesus said, "But of that day and of that hour knows no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father only. Take heed, watch and pray, for you know not when the time is." We need to be urgent in accomplishing the mission that Jesus gave us. In high school, I always said, I'll just wait until college to evangelize. I don't have the time right now. And even when I was a freshman and entering college, I told myself, I'll just wait until after college before, I'd start evangelizing. I don't have the time right now, but I will later. But isn't that the point, that we don't have time? Or at the very least, we don't know how much time we have. Therefore, we should be living like it's tomorrow, like Jesus is coming back tomorrow. Because in the end, we don't know, and it could be tomorrow. So with that in mind, why should we wait? Don't let Jesus come back and find that you buried your responsibilities. Go out, make disciples, and do what God has called you to do while you still have time. And finally, the better news, or the good news, His return should give us peace. Revelations 21 verse 4 says that God will wipe away every tear from His children's eyes, and there will be no more death, nor mourning, nor crying, nor pain, for the former things have passed away. The world is painful. Life sucks at times, and we've all felt that. And that probably won't change in this world. But God promised us that He will come back one day, and we won't only have true peace, and the curse of sin and death won't only be gone, but we will be physically with God in person, face to face, for all of eternity. And quite frankly, that's one of the most peaceful things that we could ever experience. So, I have a couple challenges for you. First, make sure your priorities are straight. Second, go out and do something for the Lord. Do whatever He's called you to do. And finally, be at peace, for He's already won, and He's coming back. It's just a matter of when.